out as an AD player. In solo queue and stuff, he was always known for Tristana, and he would play a lot of solo AD and then also bot lane AD. So interesting transition for him as well.
Well, and now we look up at the champions. The picks and bans coming through. There's the high Zed getting dropped out. The Rumble away from balls. Meanwhile, Jackie's Orianna and Voice Shen getting dropped out. So target bans everywhere. And Curse not wanting to run the Ashe Zyra themselves drops away Elimination Zyra.
So they don't think that they're going to be able to steal away the combo, so they're going to take out half of it. And the Orianna ban, that's definitely, looking back at last week, Curse ran so much Orianna. Like, they were very predictable last week. This week they came in and they prioritized a lot of Cloud9 champions, one of which is definitely Zac, high priority jungler.
So that is what they actually rushed for initially. I always think it's interesting to see what team, like, there's obviously a lot of sort of first pickable champions, guys like Twisted Fate or Zed or Zac for these guys, the Elise, the Thresh, champions that you normally see in the top left corner of getting a champ select, and they say, you know, we want the jungler right off the bat, steal that away from Meteos. Then we'll see what you guys go for.
And the interesting thing about Zac and first picking Zac is that he is very often played as a top laner too. So Curse have actually comboed Zac with Jarvan several times, which leaves a lot of ambiguity to which lanes those are actually going to go to and which one's going to be the jungler, because both can play both roles very well.
Yeah, and so then right off the bat, Cloud9 is going to say, okay, well, we'll throw up with Kennen right here. He's going to be able to handle any lane he wants. I believe both Balls and High have played that champion this split. So even then, a little bit ambiguous. Thresh, I think we know it's Elimination, but I don't think Jungle Thresh is really likely here for Meteos. But so showing part of that bottom lane, but it's not like showing Thresh is like, oh my god, we've revealed his weakness.
Yeah, and since Curse have picked up so many Cloud9 champions, this champion select here is actually pretty predictable. I mean, they're going to prioritize a lot of the same things. The Kennen, the Ryze, a lot of the things that are very considered very strong in the Korean scene as well. And now we just basically have two North American teams that both have the same values.
I want to see if Saint steals away Nasus and makes Meteos pick like third pick jungler at this point. And it is going to be Jarvan though instead. So as you said, the Zac Jarvan combo, I think that's what they used. No, there was a Shen in there, but the Zac Jarvan combo, great initiation there for the Curse lineup, and Jackie to follow in with Karthus. It's a lot of damage so far, a lot of initiation for these guys. Yeah,
people are loving the end game safety of a Karthus pick. And Jackie's definitely one to try and get in there too as a secondary engage. You don't necessarily want to be the first one there as Karthus, because we've seen some teams pull off some really good counter Karthus strategies where they can burst him down or even run something like a Gragas to knock him out at the end and limit his end game damage even with the passive. So you definitely do need some follow-up initiation or something like the first two picks here that Curse have.
And it's kind of funny about that, because talking to Velocity last night, they said, yeah, we got guys like Jarvan who actually lock up Karthus. If he doesn't flash out a Cataclysm, he doesn't get to defile anyone. And so Curse having the Jarvan helps them a little bit right there. There is the Ashe coming through for Sneaky, still playing that utility AD carry. Yeah, exactly, the Nasus as well. So I don't think anyone's surprised by Cloud9's picks, but they're certainly showing the team comp now.
That's definitely Meteos' second go-to jungler here. He likes to immediately go shove lanes when he picks Nasus. It's been more often the case that he goes to his duo lane to help shove down a turret rather than to his solo lane to help defend that turret. So they like trading the early turrets to get the global gold so they can get to their first team fighting position. But since, like we said, Curse picking up so many of the same champions, they'll be on a similar level.
This is going to be interesting, though. I actually want to see what happens if they actually have a 2v2. If Nasus is like, I'm going to tax my duo lane. It's just randomly. So I always want to see what he does with Nasus in 2v2s, because I don't remember one where that's happened so far. However, Curse are looking a little bit different here. They've gone very late game. They've got the Karthus. They've also added Tristana in here for Cop. And we've got Kassadin here for High to try to knock down Jackie's Karthus.
So Kassadin has been becoming very popular. He is still very much a counter pick though, because if you pick him very early, then you're showing your hand and that's a very weak lane if you don't get the right lane matchup. So having that counter pick is very strong potential for them to send Kassadin against Karthus, but they have to use their level 1 very well and their ward placements to actually get those lanes that they're looking for.
You're right, and you speak of counter picks. This is exactly what Cloud9 did against Dignitas, where Skara showed Kassadin and he's like, Zed, Sure, I'll beat you up, no big deal. Actually, the funny thing is I feel like Kassadin came in after the Zed, and Hai just had a wonderful time doing it. So the lineups are here, some good counter engage, a lot of late game though for the Curse lineup. And you know, thinking about some of Cloud9's games and some of their wins and whatnot, it's the early game has tended to be a little bit closer. You look at, you know, their comeback win against Velocity. Velocity had an early game lead. Their game against Dignitas close in the very beginning. You look at actually Curse's game against TSM, and it was close until the very end game. Now Curse has supplemented all that with a bunch of end game champions, and maybe like that can carry them through and make them win the game in the end.
Yeah, they're hoping they can get past that middle area of the game where Cloud9 really shine. Cloud9 have said so many times that they value these early and mid-game dragons so much that they will basically build their compositions for those mid and early game dragon fights, because they feel like the team that gets the most dragons in the mid game is the team that ends up winning with the highest percentage.
So we'll see if they can pull this one out. Of course, they've got Kennen and Nasus in there for some dragon control. See if that can play out right there. Curse in the bottom left corner, Cloud9 in the top right. Guys, it's the first game of the day, day 2 in week 8, and here we go. Matches, 6 of them today, by the way. So if you want to watch a lot of League of Legends, then sit right here and listen to my voice, damn it, because we got a lot of League of Legends to come.
And the first thing that we can see is that Hai, the difference in playstyle between Hai's Kassadin and Scar's Kassadin is that Hai does not take teleport. He is very much about controlling his lane, so he wants the extra kill potential of having that ignite, so that once he does hit 6 and he's got Riftwalk, he can just completely bully Jackie, and he will have the ignite in his back pocket to pick up one of those kills. So it's much different that they don't have the threat of like Scar teleporting to a bottom lane to turn around a gank, but he has much more control in his own lane at that mid lane.
So let's see if he can deal with the global presence then. Sounds comes off onto Jackie. The level 1 fight kind of, I guess it's more of like a level 1 poke battle. It's a bunch of like weak guys throwing things at each other and nothing, not too much damage is being dealt. Saint already recalled to get his health back up. And they're just still chucking a bunch of brush. You know, the lay waste, the flag tosses, saying, yeah, Cloud9's still here.
So since both teams sort of just bum rush middle there, it kind of looked like they were being very lackadaisical in their level 1. But look how sneaky Cloud9 were that. While they had 4 people distracting, they got wards on both of Curse's buffs. So they actually won that level 1 very handily. They have so much more information than Curse do. St. Vicious is going to be basically announcing his complete path in the early first 3 minutes of this game to Cloud9.
And they've also pinged out a lot of the locations of these Curse champions. Now, Curse, they're looking for that counter lane to Hai, saying, I know you wanted to fight Karthus. You're not going to fight Karthus. Jackie's going to go to the bottom lane, and they're going to 2v1 Hai's Kassadin here.
And Hai has started talking about trying to control his lane. He did not bring a ward. Sometimes they will go flask 1 HP potion and 1 ward to ward up the side, but he's forgone that extra ward because he's just going to try and sit back and weather this storm, try and get a few CS at his turret, and just soak up experience.
See if he can do it right now. He's not getting zoned out too far. One of the saving graces of the mid lane is that he's got a turret right there. You can't get zoned out too much. Meanwhile, Jackie, though, not in XP range at all. Lemonation sitting between the enemy minion wave and the enemy champion, preventing anything from happening. Then, well, it's a 2v1. It's Meteos. He's getting his blue buff, and we're guessing he's going to push down the duo lane.
He might actually, in this case, bail out Hai in the mid lane. So it actually looks like he is heading over there. But the gank potential from that is not scary at all. So whenever you are the mid lane here for a Curse, you're not really worried about Nasus walking up to gank an early Kassadin lane because there is just not kill potential there. They don't have hard CC to lock you down.
So just going to hold the XP up then instead. Both mid laners at 3 minion kills. Najaki gets caught up, though. Flay lands as well. Down just above 200 health right here, and the minion wave has now hit the turret, but Jarvan, St. Vicious is there to try to defend his friend underneath the turret. He should be safe. Edward and Kopp still poking away at Hai, who's still not had the best chances, but Jackie, I want to point out the scoreboard at the bottom, he is actually last hitting decently compared to that poor little Kassadin.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a missed sidestep there for the death sentence that cost him a lot of HP, but Karthus is a really strong 2v1 actually. Reginald, who is one of the most prolific Karthus players, is of the opinion that you should never 2v1 Karthus because he is good at CSing from behind. The only thing is, he's fairly squishy early, so if you can get those harass trades off early, then he's vulnerable to being dove and being killed very early.
So that's going to be the case then. This Karthus still holding up in minions. Meteos is actually babysitting high right here. Saint has gone back to buy once, picked up boots for it. He's going to have a little bit more gank presence then because of the movement speed. Meanwhile, we haven't looked at Balls versus Voyboy right here, and look at the minion difference, 23 to 11. Voy went Doran's Shield, still getting chunked out by Balls, and because, I guess, Saint's been spotted babysitting the bottom lane, he hasn't been present top lane yet.
Balls is a lane bully just himself, but he always plays champions that play to that strength, basically. And Kennen is definitely one of those, especially starting with that Doran's Blade. He's able to get off so much early harass. But with the Doran's Blade, you don't get a ward, so the early ganks can be dangerous.
Ooh, good Spidey sense there by Balls. Gets himself out of that one, does not get knocked up there by Saint. Edward's around, lands the slow, has to flash the bubble. Nice move by Edward. Make sure he slows his opponent before he goes for the knockup.
Yeah, so getting one auto attack off there, one empowered auto attack, good way to set up the bubble, and he was rewarded with the flash from Balls. So the repeat gank there, not only the jungle gank, but also support gank coming in, which is a benefit of having dual lane mid.
Jackie gets pulled, but exhausts Sneaky right away, forcing elimination out and away from this one. Jackie, no mana, only level 4, so no Requiem coming out, but Lemon's got to burn through his last couple of health potions to get his health bar back up. And you can see the pressure on that turret not doing too much, as Saint might be bailing out this bottom lane.
Saint's making a lot of long walks here, all the way top lane, and now all the way bottom to try and hold this one, but it is a bit difficult. The Thresh and Ashe lane can get some nice damage onto that turret. They're actually ahead of the mid lane duo in terms of turret damage.
Lands a pull onto Saint as well, to get some more damage down on that one. So you're right, there's an interesting sort of situation there as far as the minion kills that lead. 200 gold right now for Cloud9. That is just the laning phase there. That's no globals, no turrets, no dragons like that. It's just, you know, Cloud9 having a little bit better job last hitting things and holding up in their lanes, and that's valuable.
Yeah, and it's not the same as a Zyra Ashe lane, because then, you know, Zyra's got the 575 range, whereas Thresh only has 475, but they still have decent poke here.
Nature pulls him back. Good play from Lemonade. Is going to keep him alive. Saint so low on HP, but Jackie also has no follow-up there onto Sneaky. So a trade of blows right here. Looks like Cloud9's duo lane gets a slightly better edge for that one.
And Meteos doing a similar thing there. He's returned once again to the mid lane to just sort of help High sustain in that lane until he hits level 6. Once Kassadin hits level 6, he gets so much mobility, and it's much safer for him.
All right, so good stuff then. This Cloud9 team getting the first turret picked up. Meteos getting to recall, keeping his turret alive, and with the Spirit Stone and Flask, letting his mid laner push out. Voyboy wanted to jump in on Balls, doesn't find the initiation though. Balls hides way to the side, puts a ward down on the river as well, so you can watch if Saint tries to show up again now that his flash is down.
And now that Balls has 2 wards for his lane, he can just continue to harass down Voyboy and take advantage of the extra range that he does have on him.
Good stuff then here. Meteos clearing out his red buff. Just kind of more jungle maintenance happening right now. The early jungle moves haven't turned into ganks. Cloud9 got a little bit better out of it because they kept their mid turret alive while killing the bottom one. And now the jungler's like, well, we got to pick up our buffs. We might donate stuff over. Interestingly enough, though, Saint's not giving blue to Jackie because he's too far away to pick it up.
Jackie, yeah, is still going to stay in that bottom lane. And Karthus actually does not freeze lanes very well. So he's going to push this one back. And he's going to be overextended because there's no turret left there. So it's dangerous for him to get all the way up to that bottom turret. And they will lose out on a little bit of extra experience there.
And speaking of overextending, Sneaky has just now gotten level 6 on Ashe, so that Enchanted Crystal Arrow, the global stun, is now available for the Cloud9 lineup. I want to see if they do anything with it. Bubble lands on Elimination, some damage in from Cop, explosive shot as well. Puts the shield down, and looks like Lemon will survive that one.
And this interesting side effect here of having the Karthus relegated to the bottom lane and having Jackie be the one in charge of bottom lane wards means that they don't have Vision of the Dragon, and since Cloud9 have the dragon-killing champion in Nasus, Meteos able to take that one by himself, just popping his ulti.
Good stuff here. 8.5-minute dragon goes down. You mentioned in the pregame Cloud9 valuing dragons a lot, saying that those are going to help the team win the game. And so far, they've built themselves a 2,000 gold lead from the turret and that dragon kill. So everything going Cloud9's way. Though remember, we talk about Curse's late game being very scary. So I feel like it's one of those. Ooh, he gets the pull on a Jackie. Flay comes across. Bubble lands on a Sneaky, but will it be enough damage? Anyway, Ash Arrow blocked by Edward. True support right there. Taking more damage, but tosses out some fish. Heals himself up. He's going to be okay.
Yeah, great job by Edward, saving Jackie's life 100% right there. But because they were both harassed down so low, it does cost them some turret health.
That might be enough for the Requiem, though. Look at the damage output on elimination. The Ignite ticking him down to 160. Is it going to be it? Jackie in base, first blood.
Oh, yes. The old Karthus first blood. That's pretty much when we have Karthus in the game. Feel like 80% of the time or something, it's going to come down to one of those Requiems picking up a small bit of damage.
Well, good stuff then. Curse finally turning back some kind of early lead. Now under 2,000 gold. The not Ignite or Exhaust, the Wither, basically Exhaust, goes off on a cop, but that's going to be the turret going down anyway. Curse turning that kill into map pressure. Good pickup by these guys in the mid turret as well.
And that is pretty much according to Cloud9's plan. Even though they just lost the kill and they were evened up on turrets there, the game is still going according to their plans because they aren't too scared of the late game because they have the pick potential here. Crystal Arrows, I mean, Curse's endgame teamfight is amazing. You're right. With the Tristana and the Karthus, if they're all grouped up, then they definitely have the upper hand. But Cloud9 have the power to choose the engagements with that arrow and the power to follow up on them with Kassadin, who's so mobile that he can get to whatever target gets arrowed and finish him off.
Cool, so it's a little bit like the Curse vs. CLG game, where we don't want to necessarily 5v5 you, but if we can 5v2 you, that's great.
Exactly.
All right, so that's what we're going to look for, guys, is how well can Cloud9 find individual members of Curse, and we'll keep the eye out whenever the arrow's up, whenever High is lurking in the shadows right here. Sneaky lurking around, just kind of sitting in his lane right here. We've kind of got a docile game for the next couple of seconds there. They're kind of going to the lanes, getting some farm. Jackie now sent to the top lane, though he's without his global right here. There's no Dragon to control either, so he's just looking to farm. I don't see what Curse is looking for just yet.
Well, they're first of all trying to get Karthus back to holding the 2 versus 1 lane because he does have such good wave clear that they're going to try and make use of that extra man advantage and keep the pressure in the middle. If they can keep pressure on the middle of the map, then they can extend that sort of zone of control into the jungle of Cloud9 and start taking advantages there.
Cool, so good move then. Nice little map adjustments, I guess, by this Curse lineup. Making sure they can do whatever they want throughout the mid game now. As we're about 12 minutes in. Yeah, Meteos is Nasus. It's his 9th time on it now. Certainly has a very good score in that champion, as we talk about. Junglers tend to excel when their teams do. And I believe Cloud9 has excelled in general throughout this split. Lemonation just kind of saving Sneaky right now with Cobb. And yeah, Curse just playing the laning phase. Just, you know what? We'll just get some farm. Tristana and Karth is going to get nice and big. Edward can carry us in teamfights once in a while. But we're going to happily kill minions. We're going to CLG this one for a while.
And you can see how much emphasis they're putting on controlling the middle area of the map because not only do they have both sides of the mid lane warded, but they also have the mid lane itself and deep into the red side of the jungle. So they're trying to keep track of all the movements up there. And that's because they really don't want lane switches to go against them again. At this point, now that High does have his Rift Walk, if Kassadin ever does end up in the same lane as Karthus, then it's extremely hard for Jackie to continue to CS.
So I gotta hand it then to Curse for dodging away from that guy. Keeping Jackie in a reasonably good situation. 67 minions on him. Well, actually it is the lowest of any of the dedicated sort of carries here. High getting jumped out of the turret by Voyboy. Void goes in with the Let's Bounce. Does he have the damage? Flash burn. The slow comes out from High. Void's gonna get the kill. He's gonna flash away from the turret. Gets split up. Now can the minions carry this one? Are the purple caster minions overpowered? It's going to be close. The Bloblet's dropping down. Turret doing some damage. Voyboy is going to live.
And that's why he flashed to get just to the outside range of the turret. Only his 2 blobs that went backwards were back in range of the turret. Minions not able to finish the job there. So Voyboy did a great job of reacting to High's play. Since High used Riftwalk's damage to get extra CS under the turret, he knew High didn't have an extra escape besides his flash and decided to go all in there because Zach's got cell division and he's amazing at tower diving. Really good just reactions by Voyboy.
That's what Cloud9 said they were worried about, is what can Voyboy do? Well, actually, Balls gets a stun, drops Jackie to half HP. But yeah, Voyboy, like High said, like I didn't enjoy the game very much when I had to fight against Voyboy, but at least my team knew what to do. Well, here's High not having a very fun time against Voyboy again. That's a good thing for Curse here.
And that's sort of a general rule of any of these side lane pushers is you have to be very careful when you use your escape skill to farm up. It's like the same thing with Kennen. If Kennen uses Lightning Rush to farm up a minion wave, then Curse know that he's vulnerable for the next few seconds, and they can go aggressive on him. High right there just got a little bit greedy for the money under his turret.
So, unfortunately, greed not good this time around. However, Cloud9 said, you know what? If we can't get a couple minion kills, we'll go for the Dragon instead. Puts the pink ward down that is in vision of Curse. They're looking to collapse here, but Cloud9 might just have the numbers lead. Cop and Voyboy are far away, so it becomes this smite battle. Meteos has his up. Saint does as well. This could be a miracle here for Saint if he wants to go for it. It's not going to be the case. Dragon picked up there for Meteos. 2 dragons, equal turrets, but 2 kills on Curse's side.
Yep, and the reason that Cloud9 went for that, Voyboy up top in full vision, farming the minions, and they also had a ward in that side push too, so they could even see his progress if he decided to run down the river towards that dragon pit, and they were confident in the 4 vs 5 ability. The health of that top turret also means that Curse didn't answer with really anything right there. Voyboy can't get much damage onto a turret by himself.
Wow, and you're right. Ball just showed up immediately. Was not actually quite involved with the fight. Had made his way down and said, okay, you got it. I'll come back there. So good job defending this one. High and Meteos are looking for that pick. They're looking now for Jackie. The wall of pain comes out. Jackie, good escape.
Yep, very, very good. It's the danger of the overextension in a long lane when you don't have your turret anymore. And the relative unfamiliarity that Jackie has with the long lanes, because he's usually in the mid lane, and the fact that he has to bring his own wards to cover his backside.
And there we go, more damage. St. Vicious, nice. Okay, so High actually saved his Riftlock this time. Got away from the enemy knockups. He's going to be safe this time around.
I think he's learned his lesson.
He has. Yeah, and also he's actually found the actual matchup he wanted. He found the High versus Jackie, Castan and Karthus battle. We'll see where this one goes. He's in enemy territory, to be fair, but this was the matchup that we're looking for.
So not only does High have to be careful when he uses his Rift Walk to last hit minions, but also to harass Jackie, because he has the advantage in that lane if he can use his Rift Walk to get towards Jackie and harass, but since he doesn't have a deep ward up by the red buff for Cloud9, then it is a little bit dangerous for him to overextend like that.
We'll see if he takes the risk then. Anytime Saint shows up, he'll feel a little bit safer. Nice little healer from Edward, putting damage into Sneaky. And we're seeing now pretty much actually full-on default lanes here. The 2-on-2 in the mid.
Edward goes.
Sidestep by Sneaky.
We're staying high and dry here for both Cloud9 members.
Yes.
Don't decide to take a ride.
No, surfing not in season for these guys, even though it is summer. They just don't want to do it. So, all right then. These guys are nice and okay. Saint was lurking around the side.
Oh, the arrow in the mid!
But they do land a bubble on a Sneaky, though, so both teams just able to disengage on that one. Nice arrow, but nice bubble all the same. Jackie now starting to take some poke from High. You saw him just silenced and slowed right there. High wanted to do what he can with this one, but then backs out, recall, and says, you know what? There could be a Saint. I'm just going to go away.
This game is playing out a lot like it would on paper. There haven't been a lot of unforeseen, just surprising events.
Yeah.
It's been very methodical by both teams, actually. Curse looking to try and get as much money onto Cop as they can, trying to use Jackie as the 2 vs 1 side lane wave clearer so that they can funnel more money onto Trist. And then Cloud9, they've stayed true to their game plan that they've announced. Dragons, important to us. Very, very important to us. And so far, they've gotten them all.
They have done that pretty well so far. Jackie, again, switches the lane, says, I don't want to fight High, but High looks for him. The pick might come in, silence and slow, turns on Defile. Here comes the Lantern, here comes Lemonation. It's Balls now pulling a little bit of turret aggro. Now it's Lemonation doing the same. The burst comes across, High finds it. 3 members used for that, and here is Requiem. Is it enough for Lemonation? It is! He gets the kill back. 1 for 1, but assist going Cloud9's way. Saint, I don't know if he's going to find much here.
That Requiem kill onto Lemon was so close that a few more seconds early of drinking that health potion would have saved his life.
Ooh, the flash Q almost by Meteos. Voyboy's passive.
Ooh!
Mages have still been down. I can't check myself, but
A little cheeky move there from Voyboy. After the flash had been spent from Nasus, he knows there's no more surprise gap closing, so goes back over and gives him a punch on the way out.
Gives a little bloblet, goes back. But Saint actually, because he's seeing Nasus bottom, he looks at the red buff, gets hawk-shotted so they know he's around, but Saint might just get this. He's got to cast it in though.
High's gonna just check that bush, and St. Vicious gets silenced.
He gets arrowed on the other side. High comes across. The aggro Baron as well. Good kill picked up right there. Nice job, Cloud9. Kind of sneaking up on him.
Red buff retrieved there. Buff transfer complete. Sneaky actually ends up with that one, which is what Cloud9 wanted in the first place anyway. So St. Vicious there with the futile steal.
And the blue buffs are going to be finally given to the mages this time around. Last time for Cloud9, High was dead. Last time for Curse, Jackie was in the bottom lane. So this time around, both Karthus and Casten will wear those blue buffs. They've got some mana regen and some cooldown reduction. They're going to have a fun time in this mid game.
And that really just goes to show the danger of randomly counter jungling. Counter jungling is not something to be taken lightly. If you don't have vision of the jungle that you're invading and knowledge of where the enemy jungler is, or the rest of even the enemy team, then it's very dangerous, and you will pay for it just like that, because St. Vicious was really counting on his flag toss combo to get out of that and just go over Baron, but because of the silence, that was not on the table.
It's not. So High is going to look, though, for another sneak onto Nyjackie. He's been trying this for a while. He got it a few minutes ago. Elimination's there as well. Lantern comes across, pulls in High. There's the play. There's the silence. Good by Nyjackie. And this time there is no Requiem. High gets a refresh on the blue buff and a turret kill. 3 kills now for Cloud9, equalizing the score there, as well as their Dragon and turret lead.
Talked about at the beginning, this Cloud9 team is going to be the one choosing the engages here, and Lemonation actually set that one up by warding a fairly rare pink ward that's in the middle of the river here, this tiny bush, to see if they could have a clear path to the back of that turret to get around behind Jackie.
Cursor on top of a ward. Okay, there's the oracles from Edward. They're like, guys, they see us. Lantern comes across, the Lemonation gets the pull. They might not go in. Just kidding.
Hard to follow that one up because they still have 2 members attacking the dragon. Good communication there by Cloud9 to not split their focus. Have half of them chase and half of them on dragon.
Good stuff then, Cloud9. 3rd in a row, have taken those basically on cooldown every single time and really pushed themselves forward in the early mid game. Curse trying to rest their hopes on a 5v5 team fight later on, but haven't found one just yet. And Cloud9 still snowballing this game forward, wave clearing the minions and taking a 3rd turret here. A lot is going well for these guys.
And because of the emphasis that Cloud9 put on those dragons and their success in timing them and repeatedly getting them, with the 3rd dragon, they now have the team fight aura. They've got an Aegis of the Legion completed because of the extra global gold that was that went to their jungler. So even in the team fight, they actually have the itemization advantage.
Good stuff then by these guys. And here we go. Again, the matchup. High finds Jackie. This is not good. Last time Jackie saw High on his screen, he died. Time before that, he died again. Jackie is not going to enjoy his lane or his stay here, I don't think. He's actually hiding in the brush, waiting for the minion wave to come meet him up, just so we can get a little bit more farm and experience. Balls takes golems, and it's just, I guess it's just Cloud9 looking for the next pick, because that's what they've been doing all mid-game.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the most calm games that we've had in the LCS. Nice early morning start that we're having here. Cloud9 pretty much just staying calm and all going according to the very apparent plan that they've always had, which is repeated dragon attempts. And they've methodically taken down the entire outer perimeter of Curse's turrets. So next step on the list, start warding up the jungle.
They've got them right here. The methodical play still pulling through. Cloud9, the Oracle's here for Lemonation, sweeps away the ward down in the brush, and they move on. This bottom lane now, their emphasis high, lurks in the shadows, and he's finds another pick.
So Jackie's not with him right now, and Cloud9 saw him top lane. Cloud9 have the ability to engage with a Crystal Arrow.
It looks like they're afraid of Saint and Voyboy a little bit, though. Sneaky hits the turret, but then if someone gets far away, he shies back, wants to not get jumped on. The 5v5 team fight, always a risk for these guys. Balls, though, look at where
Jackie takes the wrong road.
He finds Jackie, stuns him up. Here comes High and says goodbye. Balls picks up the kill credit for that one. Jackie goes down. Arrow lands on a cop, forced to cleanse away. Knockout comes back. The re-engages here. Saint getting chased, though. Flays backwards, boxes on. Meteos picks up the kill. 2 kills and a turret. And Cloud9 still looking to move on forward. High gets a slow on the cop. Ash slows him down as well. They're going to dive on forward, forcing the flash out. Voyboy might just re-engage. Will they look for it? He is going to go in, but gets played backwards. Goes for the let's bounce. They find High. Balls comes back in. Meteor scares the team away, and now they look for the inhibitor. Cloud9 refusing to let go in this fight. They wither Cop. Inhib goes down. Beautiful last minute for Cloud9.
The last sort of 10 minutes of this game are kind of going by in slow motion here. We just had all of that because of Jackie's choice. He was faced with a fork in the road. Could either go high or go low, and he decided to go with the low road. Wrong choice. I mean, Dyrus said sort of the same example in some more colorful language. There's two routes through that jungle, and since Jackie did not have vision of his own jungle, he knew it was dangerous to go there. We saw him hesitate. He almost went through the base instead, but ended up costing them an inhibitor with that move.
Such great play there by Cloud9. The decisiveness and the singular sort of decision-making by Ball said, I know Jackie's top. He might go through the jungle. I'll wait. You don't need me to siege. I'll wait here. If we find it, we find it. High was in that side of the jungle as well, was able to rift walk in. So the team coordination, the picks, right? You said choosing their fights.
Oh,
they
Lemon
found it.
finds 3, though.
Lemonation did not choose this one, though. He didn't vote for St. Vicious, but St. Vicious wants to lead him away anyway. The pull comes in. Arrow lands on the Jackie. Poor Jackie just keeps getting jumped on by everybody, but flashes forward. They look for Sneaky. Balls does not have his ulti just yet. They're going to go in. They find the kill onto Ash. There's the kill onto Jackie, but he has Requiem. They're going to chase onto Balls. There's the dunk. He's going to zone as it will block the damage, but Lemonation is low. Edward getting shut down by High. The battle continues. Balls has Slicing Maelstrom. Now, will he use it? Double kill here for High. Now on to Cop. Cop, the Tristana is going to go down. Triple kill here for High. Voyboy re-engages, finds Balls, gets the kill, but Voy is just surrounded by enemy champions. Gets split in a bloblet, sell the vision, and Cloud9 just going to multiply and kill him. 4 for High in that fight. Great ace.
And even though Curse did catch out Lemon early, he was close enough to his teammates to have backup. And Curse's miscommunication, when they saw the backup, they still had a 4 versus 3, but they hesitated a little bit, and hesitating even a few seconds at this point in the game cost you a lot of HP in damage dealt. And that was the difference between an ace for Cloud9, and Cloud9 turned an ace into a Baron.
That is huge. Every single time they turn a kill or a something into something so much bigger. It's always been the big strength of Cloud9 we always talk about, and it looks like they're going to even be able to wear an all-5 Jackie, not in range as Baron goes down. Sneaky toss out a hawk shot, says, they're not stabbing us. Great, guys, we can recall back. So, ace and a Baron, couple of kills into a turret and inhibitor. This is Cloud9's game so far.
Seems like the game is just so simple for Cloud9. Let's take a look at the replay of this one, because we missed the part. See, it's 4 versus 3 right now, but Curse are actually hesitating. St. Vicious was walking backwards. Voyboy goes in with the elastic slingshot and does a good job getting right onto Sneaky. But at this point, it's a little bit too late because Cloud9 are so far ahead, and the Zanya's buy from Balls saves him right there. Great job by Cloud9, able to clean this one up. And there's not much left for Curse to do at this point. They save Zac till the last person to kill, so they don't have to wait on killing those bloblets as well.
And I actually liked one move that High did there as well. When he rift walked in, he bursted out Edward and then flashed away from Cop and said, look, I have to wait on 7-second cooldowns anyway. I don't want to take any damage to Squishy Mage. And then rift walked back in for damage and killed off Cop. It was a nice little move there by High. The number of like rift walk in flash outs I've seen from pro Karthus's or Kassadin's,
yeah,
really impressive.
That's how Kassadin usually uses his flash, because rift walk will do damage. So he wants to close the gap and get the damage of rift walk, but then flash away for the safety, because he's still a mage and he's still squishy.
Apologizes to Cop for being near him, and then says, just kidding, I just want to kill you after all. So Curse now on the defense. Last 5v5 didn't quite work out for them, unfortunately. They might try to get something with this one. Baron buff here for Cloud9. Bit of poke comes off. Look for the turret.
Crystal Arrow is up and Cell Division is down. So all of the cooldowns here in favor of Cloud9. They are ready to dive this one, even though they don't have to, because they do have the super minions down bottom.
It's true, but they're still putting on pressure. The top lane actually has a bunch of minions. They may consider to sweep over to that one. They may just hold the mid. They find the hook.
Whoa,
actually, Lemon goes in. The arrow comes across. They find Jackie. Jackie explodes right there. Cataclysm comes across. The team is locked in, but 2 kills already. Cop's going to fall down as well. That is almost everyone going down, and that is going to be an ace for 0 kills. Cloud9 making their way into the base. 28 minutes and 30 seconds in, and they've got minions onto the Nexus.
Not afraid to dive, and they're rewarded for their confidence there, taking down both Nexus turrets.
Beautiful stuff. Then in Cloud9 in the first game of the day, closing it out in under 30 minutes. The GGs come out. The Hawk shot making it nice and pretty over the Nexus. Cloud9 taking care of business.
Yeah, they just seem so calm. Even right now, they really just played their plan out and waited for the mistake of Curse to come through and took advantage of it.
It was interesting too how, like, sort of confident it was, because we said, okay, you know, late game team comp, they need to find the fights, right? They need to pick someone off, and they waited the first 10-15 minutes. They didn't do anything crazy. We didn't have many kills early on. We had one turret go one way, another turret go the other way. In fact, the first couple of kills went for Curse.
Yep.
And then Cloud9 says, okay, now we find you. Now we get Jackie. Now we get Jackie. Now we get this fight at the bottom. Now we get Dragon, and just methodically found their openings.
Yeah, that's why even after the Curse kill and then mid lane turret take, I was still like, well, this is still going according to Cloud9's plan, because they're getting their minion farm and they're taking their dragons, because that money from the minions and from the dragon is guaranteed cash, and that's what they count on every game. That's why they are such a consistent team, which is so rare in the LCS.
So good job by them, not panicking, making all the right choices. Congrats Cloud9, they're one win away now from securing, by guaranteeing first place by the end of the split, even with another week of games to go. That's how good these guys are. So we've got to take a short break, but when you return, we'll be joined by Cloud9's High to talk about their dominating win. Then Team Solomid and Dignitas throw down for our second match of the day.